Today, what I want to talk about is a negotiating tactic. Today, I want to talk about a negotiating tactic, and specifically this negotiating tactic. A lot of you guys may have heard of it, may be familiar with it, but I feel like it's still is not a clear concept because a lot of people tend to forget this. A lot of people tend to forget the power of agreement, and I think they misunderstand. I think a lot of times what happens is people misunderstand what agreement does in a negotiation. And I don't claim to be an expert on negotiating or claim to be an expert negotiator or anything like that, but I've spent a lot of time with expert negotiators, negotiating with expert negotiators, and by that I mean with attorneys and other business people, and every one of them happened to take a strong stance on their point of view, which is true. But to be honest, and again, this is just my experience, so I'm just sharing my experience. Power of agreement is actually designed to help you achieve what it is that you want to achieve out of the negotiation. Let's start with an example. You're at a job interview. And again, just like I said, I think I've shared this in a previous video, that job interviews are similar to sales presentations. I think everybody kind of understands that. And at the same time, job interviews are also negotiations, right? That we've got one person on the other side of the table, or vice versa, asking, why should I give you this position? What makes you the right fit for this position? So that starts off a negotiation. And I've experienced this in my most recent job search, where there were certain skills which were required for the position, such as, for example, accounting. My finance skills would be definitely stronger than my accounting skills, and one of the positions that I was applying for required strong accounting skills, which I don't have. This person said to me, okay, so your accounting skills are you're a little bit weak in your accounting, but you do have strong finance skills, whatever, But what I want to highlight right there is the moment that she said you have weak, you're weak in your accounting. So that statement right there, it could have gone two ways just based off that one statement. I could have tried to stop her right there and say, no, I know how to do accounting. I'm not weak in accounting. And tried to put, more or less to me, what that type of thing does is you put a wall up immediately. Now there's a wall between me and her. And now I'm still trying to convey, she was conveying her message, but now my message that's being conveyed is being conveyed to her with a wall in between us. So my message is not even getting through. The fact that I'm saying, no, I'm actually strong in accounting, by immediately disagreeing with her. We've already discussed my experience, so she has the information she needs in front of her to already make that statement. If they're questioned by anybody, meaning like, oh, why are we doing it this way and not that way? But because I'm the boss. That is not an effective strategy, because you're gonna get people to do what you want, but that comes from a place of, it just doesn't come from a good place. Always coming from a place of understanding, to me, is a much more effective way of communicating and negotiating and achieving what you want to achieve at the end of the day, achieving the results that you want to achieve. Remember that this strategy is not to necessarily help you, just become more liked by others or anything like that, which it will help you with that too, though. But the greatest effect that this strategy will bring for you is it'll help you to get what it is that you want. And always, the way to get what you want is by being valuable to the other party. And that can vary in a lot of ways, right? Because how do you show that you're a valuable person, or how do you become valuable to a person who's maybe just helping you for the night and serving you your food that night? How do you become valuable to that person versus how do you become valuable to your employer? The time span is very different, right? So if you have a waitress, let's say, who's maybe not as kind as you would like for her to be, maybe taking a position of understanding and just slowing down before calling her out, maybe, and saying, hey, your attitude is a little bit rude, let me talk to your manager, before escalating things like that, because that really doesn't help anybody out, right? At the end of the day, she's not going to be in a better position for that, and at the end of the day, even you're not. I know a lot of people don't care, and they'll be like, I don't care, I came here to eat, and I want what I want. Let those people go. Let those people go. They're going to continue to do what they do. Let them go. This is not an effective way to go about getting what you want, where everybody wins. So another way would be to maybe have a sense of understanding for this person who's possibly overwhelmed. Maybe they're short-staffed and she's covering for someone who called in, and she's just moving so fast, because that is a high-stress job. I've never had that job before, being a waiter or waitress, but that definitely I can see how that can become a very high-stress, high-tension job when you have people asking you for food, then they're rude on top of it and everything. So if we come from a place, even if she showed a little bit of whatever it was that kind of rubbed you the wrong way, if we go within ourselves and have a sense of understanding to say, hey, maybe she's super busy and overwhelmed, and they're short-staffed, that looks like what it could be. That's going to put you in a better position to respond effectively to that type of those types of situations. And here's the thing, we should always remember, when negotiating and in these types of scenarios, we don't control the other person. That's one thing that I think a lot of people fail to realize. They try to pick it up like it's a remote control and talk to another human being and like just put in a cheat code to make them do this or make them do that. These are people, these are human beings. Everybody has free will, and they're going to do what they want to do and respond how they want to respond. But the only thing that we have control over is ourselves. That's guaranteed. We can always control our actions, what comes out of our mouth, how we compose ourselves. We can always control that. Nobody's perfect, but at least we know that we can control that. That's something that is in our control. So I'm super late, probably like 15 minutes to work, but still I wanted to get this out and do this video for you guys. Hopefully that helps. Sorry about the lighting and everything. I'll try to do a couple more videos at home to keep it, a little more stationary and focused. Anyways, signing off. Jordan, income over expense, over and out.
Check the guest list, cause we're on the front page. No point in coming early, we're fashionably late. Better roll the red carpet if you gon' mention my name. It's a reservation. And it's a win, and no, it's not for the fame. Appreciate everybody for coming, let me hear you say. Better roll the red carpet if you gon' mention my name. It's a